Good morning, good morning. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. So, team on my part series, the week that was college football history in review, the 1958 college football season. And today I'm going to be concluding the 1958 college football season. Go over the games that took place in week 10, week 11, go over the final AP poll, the standings, the conference standings, the bowl games, everything to conclude the season. Then tomorrow start with 1959. So, the week that was, November 22nd, 1958, week 10. Dartmouth beat Princeton by a score of 22-12. Dartmouth took its first Ivy League title since 1938. As Fiery halfback Jake Crothamel, future Dartmouth coach and Syracuse athletic director, was central character because he had 117 yards rushing on 13 carries, 25 yards receiving on 3 catches. Launched early touchdown with 55-yard dash to the Tigers' 3-yard line. After Princeton tailback Dan Sachs breezed 70 yards to set up his multi-deflected 9-yard pass to Tigers blocking back Gene Locks, a touchdown 6-6 tie. Defensive back Crothamel was benched for screaming about dubious pass interference called against him. Cooled down, he soon returned for an interception in the end zone to preserve halftime tie. So the Tigers led 12-6 on tailback Hugh Scott's third quarter touchdown pass to wide receiver wingback, John Haid. But quarterback Bill Gundy countered with passes of 16, 20, 23 yards, 16, 20, 23 yards to drive Big Green for a 13-12 lead. And the coming pair of 15-yard penalties. Dartmouth went 76 to clinch game. Halfback Bo Morton's 13 sweep. Key being Gundy's gutsy fourth down, 15-yard fake punt pass to Bartholomew from on 41-yard line. Gundy won 3 times with 4th down gambles. Okay, Rutgers shut out Columbia 61-0. Next, Duke upset North Carolina. The number 17 team in the country, North Carolina, 7-6. In late first quarter action, Tor Hills quarterback defensive back Jack Cummings returned tipped interception 15 yards to the Duke 7-yard line, making it possible for North Carolina to lead 6-0 on fullback Don Kochak's scoring plunge. But Blue Devils standout guard Mike McGee blocked tackle kicker Phil Blazer's conversion kick attempt. So after Duke defensive guard Art Browning recovered Kochak's fumble, halfback Ray Carlton carried 8 times to retrieve 46-yard rushing to 57-yard march in third quarter. Carlton scored a short touchdown, then put his kicking shoe to make conversion that would turn out to be the winning point as Devils defensive end Jim Bartol copped 3 of North Carolina's debilitating 7 turnovers, and Duke fullback defensive back Butch Alley's interception in the last 3 minutes at home 5-yard line snuffed North Carolina's flickering Sugar Bowl dreams as the Hills defense fashioned a pair of goal line stands. Clemson, number 16 team in the country, beat Boston College 34-12. Bowl scouts watched Clemson demonstrate his best offensive season, explaining of Boston College, which dropped from bowl demand. Tigers enjoyed 353 yards to 242 yards of offensive edge over New England visitors. Clemson ended Wyatt Cox made excellent end zone catch of second quarter pass from quarterback Lowndes Shingler, despite Eagles halfback defensive back Jim Caldwell draping himself all over Cox. Shingler added 2-point pass for 8-0 halftime lead. Fullback Doug Klein bowled for 31-yard touchdown run in the third quarter. Tigers halfback defensive back Charlie Home scored next touch 2 touchdowns, including 28-yard touchdown return fumble. Boston College quarterback John Amabile came off bench to pitch 2 cosmetic touchdown passes in the fourth quarter. Syracuse, number 10 team in the country, beat West Virginia 15-12. Orange Bowl came calling for Syracuse after Orange men outwitted Mountaineers, who enjoyed 351 yards to 212 yards offensive edge. Key plays to set up Syracuse touchdowns were halfback Gerald Swedes, 7-yard punt return, defensive guard Murray Yeoman's 27-yard interception return to West Virginia 23-yard line. The veteran Orangeman quarterback Chuck Zimmerman followed these breaks by tossing 2 touchdown passes to end Dave Baker in the first half. West Virginia matched those touchdowns, scoring 9 runs by quarterback Dick Longfellow, Danny Williams. The pivotal West Virginia University Arrowsburg failed conversion run in the first quarter. Tackle kicker Dick Gaskins missed kick try in the third quarter. Number 11 Ohio State beat Michigan by a score of 20-14 as the Buckeyes earned 6-6 second quarter tie, the courtesy of 1 of 4 Michigan fumbles. This recovery at 12-yard line that led to halfback Dick LeBeau's 7-yard touchdown run. Michigan went to air for a single 258 yards as quarterback Bob Potasic passes to end Gary Paras, a combo that tallied all 14 points on touchdowns of 7 and 31 yards. Wolverines outgained Buckeyes 376 yards to 262 yards. Now trailing 14-6 in the second quarter, Ohio State little halfback Jim Hurtsby fled into open and caught a 25-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Jerry Fields. Fullback of the Buckeyes Bob White had 78 yards on 26 carries, scored third quarter touchdown, and final minute Wolverines drove deep into Ohio State territory and needed but 4 yards to send departing coach Benny Osterbahn out as a winner, while Ohio State defensive tackle Dick Shafrath walloped halfback Brad Myers to cause fumble and recovered by quarterback defensive back Jerry Fields at 2-yard line, and this loss ended the worst Wolverines season since 1934. Number 8, Purdue and Indiana matched up where this result ended in a tie 15-15. As before interstate matchup, Old Oaken Bucket, missing since September, was quietly returned to Purdue by Devils Indiana fraternity Sigma Pi. Deadlock, which resulted after scoreless second half, delivered Hughes' best season since 1946. But meant Bucket will stay with Boilermakers. Purdue scored first when Indiana blocking back Tommy Down saw his first quarter quick kick blocked by Rich Brooks and tackled Jerry Bebop. And Boilers fullback Jack Laraway grabbed ball out of air and lit out a 27-yard touchdown. So Indiana answered with a 74-yard drive, culminated in Mac McDonald's 15-yard bullet touchdown pass to end Ted Ackerman. And Earl Faison caught 2-point pass for 8-7 lead. McDonald to Faison touchdown pass made at 15-7 in second quarter. But Purdue soon got rolling on halfback Joe Kabaki's 28-yard run. Quarterback Bob Spook completed Purdue's only task of the day for 13-yard touchdown to Brooks. Halfback Clyde Washington pitched a 2-point pass to end Tom Frankhauser to knot the game at the 15-15. So Boilermakers scored. Linebacker Phil Hubler made end zone interception there in the first half. Guard kicker Skip missed 39-yard field goal in the second half. Number 6 Iowa beat number 15 Notre Dame 31-21. Big Ten champion Iowa added another value victory by dumping Notre Dame, which will finish the season having faced the most difficult schedule in the nation. And wrapping up its regular season, Hawkeyes interestingly had taken on the toughest state in America. Toughest slate in America. It turned into quite good offensive show with 878 yards combined for the offenses. Iowa's speed spelled difference as its fastest player, halfback Willie Fleming, scored on a 6-yard run on opening play of second quarter and caught a 36-yard pass. Quarterback Randy Duncan. Hawks secondary was caught flat-footed by Irish quarterback George Izzo's second down bomb as Monty Stickles went 69 yards to touchdown. Fullback John Nocera gave Iowa breathing room at 19-7 with a short touchdown plunge in third quarter after Duncan connected with Don Norton on fourth down from Notre Dame 18-yard line. Izzo tallied another long touchdown pass, this to halfback Bob Scarpito. Sailing past defensive back Duncan early in the fourth quarter, but Iowa quarterback Duncan countered right back with 53-yard touchdown pass to Norton for a 25-14 advantage. Missouri and Kansas matchup ended in a tie 13-13. Number 4, Oklahoma beat Nebraska by a score of 40-7 as Oklahoma wrapped up its 11th straight conference title by lambasting confident and upset-minded Nebraska. Opening quarter indicated superiority of Oklahoma Sooners despite the Cornhuskers' upset over Pittsburgh the previous Saturday. Oklahoma cruised to 55, 52, 55 yards to touchdown runs by all-around halfback Brewster Hobby, Little sprinter halfback Jackie Sandiford, and versatile quarterback Bobby Boyd. OU's 21-0 lead held up into the third quarter when they were slapped with big but brief surprise. Oklahoma was headed for another touchdown when quarterback David Baker threw past that halfback defensive back Larry Naviolo, future head coach at Boston University in Connecticut, intercepted and raced 93 yards up the sideline for the touchdown. Soon shrugged it off and scored 3 more touchdowns, including Sandiford's halfback pass to halfback Dick Carpenter. Oklahoma outdistanced Nebraska 447 yards to 107 yards. Number 7 Texas Christian beat Rice 21-10 as in Buddy Dow's touchdown catch gave Rice early lead in first quarter. TCU raced its 7-0 shortfall with halfback defensive back Marvin Lassiter's mid-air 58-yard fumble touchdown return on second quarter first play. Lassiter was approaching Rice ball carrier halfback Bill Bouquet from left when Frogs center linebacker R.V. Martin belted Buset chest and ball hot, but made lollipop flop into air. But Lassiter gathered it in stride and stormed back through dandy hole that had been created by Owl's blockers. So at the Horned Frogs fullback Jack Spikes made it 14-7 with running touchdown at end of 13 play, 60-yard journey, and questionable bit of strategy. The Owls kicker Buset countered with fourth quarter field goal with less than 7 minutes to play to bring Rice's negative margin to within 14-10. The sub quarterback Larry Dawson flinging several completions in Jimmy Gilmore's late 5-yard touchdown catch iced it for Cotton Bowl bound TCU. Arizona State shut out Arizona 47-0. UCLA and Southern California game matchup between USC and Southern California ended in a 15-15 tie. Number 19 California beat Stanford 16-15. Strawberry Canyon was populated by 81,490 fans, and since many had to be advocates of 1958's new two-point rule, they must have enjoyed this dream game because Rose Bowl-bound California twice made 2 points to counter 2 touchdowns and field goal by feisty Stanford. Golden Bears scored on a long ground march in first and third quarters. The halfback Jack Hart scored each time and rushed for 103 yards. When quarterback Joe Kapp hit halfback Wayne Crow with conversion pass, Bears led 16-9 in third quarter. Indians seemed beaten when they took over on their own 22-yard line with less than 4 minutes to play. Rally looked less likely after quarterback Dick Norman was trapped for a 7-yard loss, but he proceeded to hit 4 passes at end of the 78-yard drive. Norman scrambled left and right before arching pass to end zone corner for a 21-yard touchdown to end Joe Fry's. Tribe fullback Skip Face tried to sprint wide on a 2-point run for win, but was stacked up just short by fullback linebacker Bill Patton, guard Jim Green, and Hart. And finally, Washington State beat Washington 18-14. So Washington State built an early 12-0 lead, but couldn't successfully kick the waterlogged ball for extra points. Husky sophomore halfback kicker George Fleming made his 2 conversion kicks, as would become his regular custom after touchdowns by quarterback Bob Heibner and halfback Mike McCluskey. So Washington enjoyed a 14-12 halftime lead. The Cougars rallied in the third quarter on quarterback Dave Wilson's 7-yard touchdown pass to end Don Ellersick. So, and they won their 4th of last 6 Evergreen State rivalry matches, cop second place in PCC with 6-2 record. Includes the games that were played on November 22nd, 1958. So now we're going to get into the poll AP polls November 24th, you had Louisiana State number 1, number 2 Auburn, number 3 Oklahoma, number 4 Iowa, number 5 Army, number 6 Wisconsin, number 7 Texas Christian, number 8 Air Force, number 9 Iowa State, 10 Syracuse, number 11 Purdue, Clemson number 12, Mississippi 13, Florida 14, Vanderbilt 15, South Carolina 16, 17 California, Notre Dame 18, number 19 Pittsburgh, and number 20 Rutgers. So we're going to go to week 11, the week that was from November 27th to November 29th. Obviously Thanksgiving Day was on November 27th. So we had Penn State playing Pittsburgh, but Penn State upset number 19 Pittsburgh 25-21. As celebrating their city's bicentennial, Pittsburgh Panthers used the nation's defense to hold Nittany Lions to 12 yards rushing and jump to a 14-0 halftime lead. But the game turned on a bad snap that forced Panthers end punter Mike Dicker to eat ball at the Pittsburgh 25-yard line. So Penn State quickly tallied touchdowns by fullback Pat Batula and end Norm Neff to get to within 14-12. Halfback Chuck Reinhold raced 52 yards to extend Pittsburgh's lead to 21-12. In the fourth quarter, Lions quarterback Al Jackson found Neff for another touchdown. With 6 minutes left, Penn State halfback Jim Kirk made critical 43-yard punt return to Pitt 28-yard line to launch halfback Don Jones heading touchdown run. Next, we had number 5 Army defeated Navy 22-6 in Philadelphia. Now, Navy, wearing blue helmets that made them look remarkably like the Chicago Bears, covered the opening kickoff fumble by Army halfback Pete Dawkins in the stomach of George Fitzinger. So middies immediately sprung varied array of flankers and double reverse runs for 6-0 lead on 3-yard touchdown run by sophomore halfback Joe Bellino, who had 45 yards rushing on 14 carries and 40 yards receiving on 6 catches. So, however, fullback kicker Ray Wellborn missed the extra point partly due to rip, shoot, instep. Excited middies soon set sail 74 yards down the field. A turnabout for Army came as fullback linebacker Harry Walters stopped Bellino at 15-yard line for 2-yard loss on 4th and 2 run. It took a while, but the Cadets went up 7-6 just before halftime and 14-6 on first play of the fourth quarter as sparkling workhorse halfback Bob Anderson, who had 89 yards on 29 carries, scored behind blocker guard Bob Novogratz. Guard linebacker star Novogratz had falling on 2 fumble recoveries to keep offensive possession for Army and had stopped critical series in middle of Navy-dominated first quarter when Bellino lost fumble near midfield. Down 14-6, Midshipman still retained a chance to earn tie when it received punt at its 28-yard line and 2:45 to play. The clincher quickly was delivered by Army's gregarious defensive end Don Ushery at 80 yards on 5 catches. Dropped left into left flank on pass coverage to pick off quarterback Joe Tranchini's swing pass for fullback Ray Wellborn and take it 38 yards for the touchdown. Perfect ending to Army storybook year saw halfback Pete Dawkins hit halfback mate Anderson with left-handed 2-point pass. Army quarterback Joe Caldwell passed effectively with 10 for 18 for 145 yards and 2 interceptions. And the Black Knights Earl Blake will bow out with 166, 48, and 14 mark after 25 years of coaching. As parting word, he offered that his team was best in the nation, saying, "When our team is functioning at 100% efficiency, when it is running and passing as it can, I don't think any team in the country can contain it." Next, Georgia Tech lost to Georgia 16-30. Georgia beat Georgia Tech 16-3. Number 2, Auburn beat Alabama 14-8 as the Tigers went 24th straight game without defeat as newfound passing wizard quarterback Richard Wood led 2 touchdown drives, including a touchdown pass to halfback Jimmy Pettis. With 7 minutes left, Alabama stoked flame with halfback Marlon Dykes. Touchdown quarterback Bobby Jackson. 2-point pass. Clemson Tide reached Auburn 28-yard line with 1:26 to play, but Tigers halfback defensive back Lamar Rawson battled away Jackson's pass at goal line to help nation's best defense, which was allowing only 157.5 yards per game. Rolling Tides last surge. Upset took place between Tennessee and Vanderbilt as Tennessee beat number 15 Vanderbilt 10-6. Game ended with two fighting ejections. Many spectators on the field like end of Chattanooga's early November upset of Volunteers uh, brawling this bunch of 1958. Tennessee sophomore tailback Billy Majors came off bench in second quarter to spark to upset over Vanderbilt. Majors capped 91-yard drive with 3-yard touchdown pass to end Mike Lasorsa. Sophomore and kicker Cotton Lettner added 20-yard field goal in third quarter after the Volunteers were stalled at 3-yard line. Vandy stopped twice inside Volunteers 10-yard line during the game. Finally scored on fourth quarter pass to end Fred Riggs. Mississippi, number 13 team in the country, shut out Mississippi State 21-0. Number 13 Mississippi shut out Mississippi State 21-0. His quarterback Bobby Franklin ran for 8-yard touchdown and passed for two others in sparkling Gator Bowl bound Ole Miss. Rebels scored all their touchdowns in second quarter. Capitalized on halfback Cowboy Woodruff. Good punt return from recovery in Mississippi State territory and long sustained march. So Punch's Bulldogs managed only eight first downs and completed only two passes for 51 yards. Florida beat Miami 12-9. As the Gator Bowl, Cali, Florida held on to beat Hurricanes after building a 12-0 lead in the third quarter. So top punting by halfback punter Bobby Joe Green and quarterbacks punters Jimmy Dunn and Mickey Ellerberg into stiff wind provided consistent field position, which eventuated fullback John Macbeth first quarter touchdown plunge. So hot and cold, quarterback Bonnie Yarbrough rallied Miami on fourth quarter touchdown pass and had Florida biting its nails with moves to the Gator 19, 23, 11-yard lines before fumble was lost on 7-yard line with 2 minutes left. So number 3, Oklahoma shut out Oklahoma State by score 7-0. Each school was headed to bowl. Oklahoma to Orange Bowl, Oklahoma State possibly to the Sugar or Cotton, but ended up in a Bluegrass Bowl. As plucky under-recruited Cowboys so often had accomplished during Oklahoma's Sooners 1950s rampage, they played extraordinary defense during their alternate year home game against Oklahoma. Despite its 3-touchdown underdog status, Oklahoma State outplayed its rivals most of the game, and at end trailed in total yards only 196 yards, 187 yards. Oklahoma State covered second quarter fumble by Oklahoma halfback Brewster Hobby on punt return at 14-yard line. As soon as fullback linebacker Prentice Galt exploited this opportunity by throwing fullback Vernon Sewell for 7-yard loss and forcing a missed field goal tried to end kicker Jim Wood. Cowpokes appeared to have earned 0-0 tie when they halted 4 cracks at their 1-yard line in middle of fourth quarter. But punter Wood's return punt was taken to Ioki State 35-yard line. So on 3rd and 6, second team Sooners quarterback Bobby Boyd checked off to option pitch to right after faking pitch out to trailing left halfback. Boyd cut in and dashed by safety for a 31-yard touchdown run and a 7-0 win. Next, Air Force beat Colorado by a score of 20-14. The miraculous Air Force completed the undefeated season with Stirring goal line stand with 8 seconds to go. Colorado defense halted Falcons' vaunted passing, only allowing 39 yards passing. The Buffaloes held 14-6 halftime edge on quarterback Boyd Dow's 70-yard touchdown pass and wingback Eddie Dove's 31-yard touchdown run. Halfback Mike Quinlan's raced 60 yards to third quarter touchdown, but otherwise Air Force needed 6 fumble recoveries to help catch up to Buffaloes. Key bobble came in third quarter as full Falcons halfback defensive back Mike Rollins charged 20 yards with mid-air fumble to go ahead score. Southern Methodist beat number 7 Texas Christian 20-13, even though he lost fumble at Horn Frost. 10-yard line. Southern Methodist quarterback Don Meredith threw touchdown passes to each of his halfbacks, Tyree Willimon and Glenn Gregory smashed 2 yards for his own touchdowns and ran for 2 points. conversion upset Cotton Bowl bound TCU. TCU had scored first on quarterback Hunter Ennis 20-yard 21-yard pass, but spent much of its 20 to 22 yards rushing to escape its own territory. Guard linebacker Tommy Koenig anchored Mustangs defense, which forced the Frogs into a miserable air game, 6 of 24 for 54 yards. Houston beat Texas Tech 22-17. Notre Dame, number 18 team in the country, beat Southern California 20-13 as Terry Brennan's weary Notre Dame Warriors, playing what turned out to be their last game for young impressive coach, managed brilliant goal-line stand in early fourth quarter to win 30th meeting with USC, trailing 6-0 after 6 minutes of first quarter. Trojans went ahead 7-6 as halfback Dom Buford swept right and rifled 52-yard touchdown pass to end Hilliard Hill. USC went 34 yards to lift its lead to 13-6 as halfback Jerry Tranum scored from 1 yard out. So Irish traveled 70 yards to touchdown, but and kicker Mighty Stickles missed the second extra point kick. So Troy retained 13-12 halftime lead. So Notre Dame went 63 yards to winning touchdown after the second half kickoff with quarterback Bob Williams back in at quarterback for George Izzo, who suffered 3 interceptions. So Williams earlier in the season went from senior All-American candidate to bench warmer, pitched 21-yard touchdown pass to end Bob Witowski, followed with a 2-point pass. Notre Dame's goal line stand started as USC halfback Clark Holden made first down inside the 1 yard line. Holden lost foot on first down, and quarterback Tom Maudlin had no gains on the next 2 plays. Then Woozy linebacker Bob Schultz was replaced by linebacker Myron Padios, who was key stopper on Buford's fourth down sprint off right tackle. On the AP poll, as of December 1st, had Louisiana State at number 1, Iowa at number 2, Army number 3, Auburn number 4, Oklahoma number 5, number 6, Air Force, 7, Wisconsin, number 8, Ohio State, number 9, Syracuse, number 10, Texas Christian, number 11, Mississippi, number 12, Clemson, number 13, Purdue, number 14, Florida, number 15, South Carolina, number 16, California, number 17, Notre Dame, number 18, Southern Methodist, number 19, Oklahoma State, and number 20, Rutgers. Now, I'm going to take a look at the 1958 conference standings. Ivy League, Dartmouth won that division, that conference. The ACC went to Clemson. They were 5-1. Dartmouth won the Ivy League. They were 6-1. The Southern Conference was in favor of West Virginia. They were 4-0. Southeastern Conference was in favor of Louisiana State. They were 6-0. The Big Ten went to Iowa Hawkeyes. They were 5-1. The Big 8 went to Oklahoma. They were 6-0. Missouri Valley Conference had North Texas State at 2-1-1. They won that the conference. Mid-American Conference, Miami of Ohio, 5-0, won that conference. Southwest Conference, Texas Christian, 5-1. Border, Hardin Simmons, 4-0. Skyline 8, Wyoming, 6-1. Pacific Coast Conference, California, won that conference at 6-1, record in the conference. So now let's get into the bowl games that took place during 1958. We're going to start with the Gator Bowl, December 27th. Mississippi beat Florida 7-3. Dreadful sea of mud neutralized Ole Miss. Speed advantage and also slowed small Florida's backfield and rarely engaged intra-SEC match. As it happened, Mississippi led all-time series 6-1-1. Contest on well-worn field evolved into struggle of stout defenses, in which was both team strengths. The Rebels quarterback, punter Bobby Franklin won MVP honors by guiding opening 70-yard drive and 2 well-directed punts inside the 10-yard line. But Franklin accidentally kicked his star fullback Charlie Flowers in the head during early going. Now in Flowers' place, large sub fullback Jim Anderson, who scored a touchdown from 1 yard out in first quarter. Little Florida quarterback Jimmy Dunn scooted 56 yards with ensuing kickoff, and Gators soon reached the 11-yard line where Ole Miss defense dug into hole. So halfback kicker Billy Booker kicked 27-yard field goal to pull Gators within 7-3. So in the fourth quarter, Florida menaced Ole Miss quarter line after halfback punter Bobby Joe Green's 76-yard quick kick was recovered by Gators and was accidentally touched by Rebels at their 10-yard line. Tackle Bull Churchwell calls and recovered fumble by Dunn. Now stiff Rebels defense held again at 2-yard line. So Florida pint-sized backs missing halfback Bernie Parrish, since he had signed with baseball's Cincinnati Reds in early 1958, were no match for big Ole Miss line and heavy footing of sock playing surface. Next, Orange Bowl. Oklahoma beat Syracuse 21-6, exhibiting a new fake counter, long lateral play in opening 3 minutes. Oklahoma sprung fullback Prentice Galt, who had 94 yards, rushed on 6 carries, and a touchdown on 10-yard run to right and 42-yard touchdown draw to left within Joe Rector throwing big block. Later in the first quarter, Sooners stopped 53-yard drive of Syracuse at OU 19-yard line. On the second play, after loss fumbled by Orangemen halfback Tom Stevens, Oklahoma halfback Rooster Hobby launched 79-yard touchdown pass to end Ross Coy, with Rector throwing 2 key blocks for 14 lead. Late in third quarter, Syracuse highly reliable guard punter Tom Gilbert experienced punter's nightmare, kicking low liner from deep in his own territory. Alertly charging Hobby returned it for 40-yard touchdown faster as soon as could form blocking pattern. So playing through mistake-filled, lackluster affair, Syracuse still enjoyed a 239 yards to 152 yards rushing advantage and finally cashed in with 69-yard touchdown drive in fourth quarter. Orangeman halfback Mark Weber doggedly pushed over a touchdown from 15-yard line. In the Sugar Bowl, Louisiana State beat Clemson 7-0. It's coming off undefeated season. This crushing 62-0 climax against rival Tulane. National champion LSU was mildly disappointing in its effort. Feisty 17-point underdog Clemson played as if it had nothing to lose and made tremendous effort for moral victory. Perhaps Clemson played without nerves, thanks to Coach Frank Howard's team facing comparison to LSU's ferocious Chinese bandits. My boys play like a bunch of one-armed bandits. Clemson's one-armed bandits profited when LSU quarterback Warren Webb became one-armed in first quarter, sidelined by broken passing hand. Second quarter, LSU managed promising drive, fueled by courageous Rab's 26-yard aerial to end Mickey Magnum Rab's 13-yard sweep, but Bayou Bengals fullback Red Broadnax crashed the goal line and lost fumble through end zone before he could rush the touchdown. So score stayed 0-0. Bad punt snapped by center Paul Snyder finally killed Clemson chances in the third quarter with LSU taking over at Clemson 11-yard line on a tackle Dwayne Leopard's recovery. LSU halfback punter Billy Cannon, whose game MVP award was as much for his fine punting as his offense. So whip perfect 9-yard touchdown pass to Mangum in back of end zone for game's only score. So Clemson's last scoring bid reached LSU 24-yard line and pass catches for 12-yard each by ends Wyatt Cox, Sam Anderson, celebrated Chinese Bandits unit, forced 2 incompletions by Clemson quarterback Harvey White to end the threat. Next, we got the Cotton Bowl, Texas Christian and Air Force. Matchup ended in a scoreless tie. Army and Notre Dame played college football's most famous scoreless tie in the epic 1946 battle. Fordham and Pittsburgh, giants of Great Depression years, played scoreless deadlocks in 1935, 1936, and 1937. This Cotton Bowl deadlock, last ever scoreless matchup between top 10 opponents, proved how worthy underappreciated Falcons truly could be. They finished a remarkable debut on national stage as their academy's only undefeated team in history. Pigskin deadlock in Dallas also displayed defensive might of TCU, a team that would send 4 of its stars to the NFL, tackles Don Floyd, who will play with the Oilers, Joe Brown with the Cardinals, Bob Lilly with the Cowboys, and guard linebacker Cheryl Hedrick with the Chiefs. Both sides suffered lost opportunities on offense. Air Force halfback kicker George Pukich missed 3 field goals, and Purple Frogs fullback kicker Jack Spikes missed 2 field goal tries. Spikes, however, was folded top back by rushing for 108 yards of TCU's 227 yards run total. Air Force threatened early with sorties to 6 and 15-yard lines. Horned Frogs menaced Falcons late with 2 deep invasions into Air Force Academy territory. Numerous fumbles piled atop missed field goals translated into a scoreless draw. And finally, in the Rose Bowl, Iowa beat California 35-12. As Hawkeye Speed piled upon more Hawkeye Speed, poisoned first Rose Bowl trip for California since January 1951. Iowa scorched Hustedine's rookie books. Halfback Bob Jeter raced 81 yards in the third quarter, the longest run from scrimmage to date in Rose Bowl history. Bob Jeter had 194 yards rushing on 9 carries, and a touchdown also set records for rushing yards gained at that point in time. His 21.6 rushing average still stands today. Hawkeyes set or tied 3 team offensive records: 429 yards rushing, 516 yards total offense, and 24 first downs. Jeter's halfback made out of Iowa's wicket wing tee, Willie Fleming, had 85 yards on 9 carries, scored 2 touchdowns with his own impressive 9.4 rushing average. California had gotten an early break on fumble recovery at Hawkeye's 21-yard line, but third and 1 play went awry, and fourth down pass was pressured into failure. Iowa led 20-0 at halftime until Golden Bears halfback Jack Hart scored twice on a 1-yard plunge early in third quarter and on a 17-yard reception from quarterback Joe Kapp in game's last minute. Hart's first touchdown gave brief life to the Bears as they drew within 26, but Fleming and Jeter made long touchdowns before third quarter ended. Game brought down curtain on star-crossed Pacific Coast Conference as the teams show pale 1-12 Rose Bowl mark against the Big Ten bullies since joint conference contract was effected in 1946, so soon to be created AAWU, with many of same schools with fare far better. Now let's look at the top performance formula. That includes look at the major bowl games that were played. 1958 top performance formula. Number 1 was Louisiana State. The top opponents' records for 1958 was Notre Dame with the top opponents' record. Notre Dame was number 1. 1958 out of conference records. SEC had a 30-9 record, 2-1 in the bowl. Big Ten had a 18-6-1 record, 1-0 in the bowl. Big 8 conference had a 2016 record, 2-0 in the bowl. Southwest Conference 15-13-1. They were 0-0-1 in the bowl season during the bowl season. Pacific Coast 11-17, 0-1 in the bowl. Atlantic Coast 11-19-1, 0-1 in the bowl. Now let's look at the 1958 individual statistical leaders, the rushing yards. Dick Bass led the nation in rushing, 1,361 yards, averaging 6.6 yards per carry. Passing yards, Randy Duncan, Iowa. Receiving yards, Rich Crickling led the nation passing yards receiving yards of Illinois. Rich Crickling, 688 yards receiving. He led the nation in receiving yards. Now let's look at the All-American team. Existed All-American team in 1958. In Buddy Dow Rice, Sam Williams, Michigan State. Tackle Ted Bates, Oregon State. Brock Strong, Air Force. Guard John Guzik, Pittsburgh. Zeke Smith, Auburn. And George Dieterich of Vanderbilt. Center Bob Harrison, Oklahoma. Back Randy Duncan, Iowa. Pete Dawkins, Army. Billy Cannon, United States. And Bob White, Ohio State. Look at the other All-American choices. Jim Houston, Ohio State. Al Goldstein, North Carolina. Lonnie Stickles, Notre Dame. Jim Wood, Oklahoma State. Kurt Mertz, Iowa. The tackles, Jim Marshall, Ohio State. Ron Luciano, Syracuse. Hogan Wharton, Houston. Andy Silverco, Northwestern. Don Floyd, Texas Christian. Val Heckman, Florida. Gene Solowski, Purdue. Guard Al Peculiar, Notre Dame. John Wooten, Colorado. Bob Novogratz, Army. The centers, Jackie Burkett, Auburn. Max Fugler, Louisiana State. And the backfield, Don Meredith, Southern Methodist. Joe Kapp, California. Bob Anderson, Army. Billy Austin, Rutgers. And Nick Petrosanti, Notre Dame. Now the 1958 Heisman Trophy vote was won by Pete Dawkins. He won the Heisman Trophy in 1958. The senior halfback of Army had 1,394 votes. Randy Duncan, senior quarterback Iowa, had 1,021 votes. Billy Cannon, the junior halfback Louisiana State, had 975 votes. Bob White, junior fullback Iowa State, had 365 votes. Joe Kapp, senior quarterback California, had 227 votes. Other major awards that was won during the 1958 season: Maxwell Player of the Year Award with the Pete Dawkins, Outland Trophy, Lineman of the Year, Zeke Smith, junior guard Auburn, Walter Camp, back the best The person that won this award was Randy Duncan, senior quarterback of Iowa. Bob Novogratz won the Newt Rockne Lineman of the Year award, senior guard Army, and an AFCA Coach of the Year, Carl Dietzel, Louisiana State, Coach of the Year. So that concludes the look at the 1959 season. 1958 season. 1958 season is over with. I concluded that, so tomorrow I'll start the overview and go over week 1 of the 1959 season of college football. So that concludes a look at the conclusion of the college football season. And so it's over with. I talked about week 10, week 11, and then I went over the bowl games, and that was it. And also the stats and the awards that were won during that 1958 season. So tomorrow I'll resume with the 1959 college football season, look at the overview of the 1959 college football season, and then get into week number 1 of the college football season 1959. So that concludes this video. You subscribe, like, comment on this channel. Until then, talk to you tomorrow.